Hey everyone, welcome to the short Vort for Parshat Vayera. In this Parsha we encounter the story of Akedat Yitzchak, the binding of Isaac. And in this story, there's a word that appears quite frequently, which is Hineni. At first, when God comes to Avraham to give him this command, he says, Avraham, and Avraham says, Hineni, I'm here, what is it that you want? And he listens very carefully to God's command, and he's ready to sacrifice his son. He collects what he needs to collect, and he's on his way. And then as he and Yitzchak, his son, who he's going to sacrifice, though Yitzchak perhaps doesn't know this, as they're on their way, they're walking towards Har HaMoriah, Yitzchak turns to his father and says, Dad. He says to him, Avi, my father, and he says, Hineni vini, I am here, my son. And he listens to a question that was difficult. He says, I see all the things we need for a sacrifice, but where is the lamb? And perhaps even asking, implied in this is, am I the lamb? And he says, I don't really know. Hashem will show us. And they walk together, the Torah says. And then as Avraham is about to slaughter his son, God a voice emerges and says, no, stop. Avraham, and Avraham says, Hineni, once again. And he stops and he listens. And we have all these moments where in this story, Avraham responds, Hineni. But notice something very interesting. You can imagine in a situation like this, you'd be in your own thoughts, dealing with the challenges of being told to sacrifice your child and not thinking about how other people feel, not listening carefully to what others are saying. But throughout this story, Avraham maintains a Hineni mindset, listening carefully to what God told him at the beginning, listening in a deep and in a way filled with intent to what Yitzchak was saying, and made him feel like, I hear you, and I don't know all the answers, but we're walking together. And he was there listening again at the end, there to pay attention and carefully take in what God was saying to him at the very end of this story. And it's a lesson for all of us to learn from Avraham Avinu about how important it is to do deep listening, to really hear what other people are saying, not be worried about our own thoughts when we're listening to somebody else. When we do that deep thinking, we make people feel like they are understood, the way Yitzchak felt understood and the way God felt heard throughout this story. May we do that with others in our lives. Shabbat Shalom.